Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start.
You cut it early.
No, I didn't. It didn't lag out for me at all.
Oh, great. Well, it's super laggy for me, so this is really fun. So welcome, everyone. Okay, I'm taking this down. Whew. Well, welcome to Red Valkyrie.
I'm going to rename the stream Darth Speaks.
Speaks. I love it. So this is a little bit different than our normal episodes of Red Valkyrie. One of them being I'm obviously not in my studio or anywhere near my studio. And look, my office could be a studio. Shut up. Anyway, and the other reason being because this actually doesn't have a creator. It's the AMA for me getting 1,000 followers. So thank you all. Yay! Super fun.
Also, I am your host, Cyborg Valkyrie, since no one bothered to do the introductions. And this is my awesome co-host, Shae Zombie. Point to yourself, Shae. Excellent. Let me tell you, that hat that puts 9/3 of your face in shadow is awesome.
I love my hat. You leave my hat alone.
What are you doing, Skits? Is that a question for Shae? What are y'all doing? That's Skits' first question.
Hi, Skits. I'm sitting in my car and ask me anything, because it had to happen today. That's all I got.
That was a simple one. Okay, so we did get some really fucked up questions on Twitter, and I'm going to obviously have to fill in some other questions. So welcome audience, Skits, and whoever else is hiding out there, because I do see that there is more than just Skits in our audience right now. So hello and welcome.
It looked crazy when I checked it. Yeah. I mean, when is it not crazy for us, though, Skits, for real? Like,
Skits, I'm having trouble adapting your two trademark questions to a Shae Ask Me Anything.
What would I do differently with my campaign? I'd start one. That's trying to get a campaign funded is having one.
What is the most successful thing about being Shae?
Shae has success. What?
Well, I mean that mask is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I do enjoy my my sad mask. Goth clubbing, yes, exactly. No, I'm. So should I tell them why I have a mask, or are we just not gonna?
So in my latest tweet announcing that this would be pushed back to a time other than what I set it for on YouTube, since I can't tell the difference between Eastern and Pacific when I'm setting Streamlab. Shae is out at an awesome gaming/music type convention celebration festival, as it were, called MagFest. It is in the Northeast United States. Well, I mean, it's public knowledge where it is. So it's in Maryland.
Yep.
And she is helping out on staff. And Shae, why don't you tell us about that?
So I volunteered last year and was lucky enough in all of the selections of everything that you can pick. I picked Mediatron because that's all about television production and filming and switchboards and all kinds of stuff. And so for that first year, I got put on paneling, which, if you don't know what the job of somebody who's working a like media production for paneling is, I had to go into rooms and hit the record button before they started. Yeah, and then just.
So you're talking about discussion panels.
Yeah. Like I literally, my whole job was to hit record and then hit stop.
So it was a fixed position camera. It never went to the audience. There was no alternate camera angle for like question and answer at the end or anything like that.
No, I literally wasn't in the room like 90% of the time. I would run in like 10 minutes before it started, hit go, and I'd run in like 1 or 2 minutes after and hit stop. Oh, hi and bye, Kyle. So you just popped in and disappeared. But yeah, so after working that, I ended up talking with the guys that actually work Mediatron, and found out that I actually pseudo knew one of them, and we got to talking, and he asked if I was interested in trying to be a more permanent staff member instead of just going through the volunteer channels, and I told him I thought it'd be cool. So I worked BitGen last year, and that was pretty fun. I basically just chilled at a bar and helped film. I did a lot more with that. We did set up audio, picking shots. I was on switchboard for a long time, so I was switching between various shots on the same performers and stuff, which was really cool. And so for MagFest this year, they put me in the main concert hall in the pit, which means that I'm sitting in that like 2 to 3 foot space between the gates for the crowd and the band. And it's been really, really awesome. It's been super fun.
It has, and well, I don't know how awesome it is for Shae, but I mean it's awesome to watch because they're also streaming it live to Twitch, and let me tell you, some of that music is really fucking awesome. So I would definitely recommend that you guys check it out. If you need a link to it, tough shit. No, just look at my tweets, and I tagged in Magfest's Twitter on there, and that will link you over to their Twitch channels because they do have more than one. They have one for the main concert halls, and then they have one for their other room, which is more. I think it's more like all DJs and like some of the more alternative music that they have.
Yeah, they've got like Music Island that they stream from, and that's literally like at the end of this hallway. It's a floating island that's got just a bunch of people that pop in and do their thing and then disappear. And there's also, if you've never been to MagFest, it's insanity. It's really ridiculous. But one of the funniest things is they actually have designated spots within the hallways of this hotel that are just considered jam space. And it's kind of like a first come first serve. So you got people who are there to like be at MagFest that happen to have brought whatever the hell that they happen to have brought, and they just set up and they start playing in the middle of the hallway, which is great if you're in the mood to party. If you have a headache or need to take an important phone call, it's absolutely terrible, and the reception is so shit, which is also why I'm streaming from my car as opposed to from MagFest. It's just it's crazy. It's crazy there.
So, in honor of Shae's mask, I'll go with the more processor-intensive background.
I like it.
Star, I do see your question there asking for a link. A link to what? The link that I just said I wasn't going to give, or what?
Yeah, I believe that was it. The link that you said you weren't going to give because you suck.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll try to work on that. Let me see here. I did see some questions. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Oh, thanks. Apparently, this is going to turn into a Red Valkyrie Ask Me Anything. So there we go.
If I were to start my channel over, what would I do differently?
Okay, let me clarify. Do you mean Shae's channel? Shae Zombie?
Wait, which one? Because if we're talking about the like Shae Eats Weird Shit channel, literally everything differently. Since I have like 10 followers.
I linked to you. It's not my fault.
I know. You try so hard. There's just that there's no content. Honestly, when it comes to doing YouTube channels, I think the thing I'd probably do differently, the biggest thing I would do differently would be trying to make sure that you've got a good amount of content right up front, which I mean, we've done a really good job, but unfortunately we've also had to work around like my crazy schedule when Sai was able to, you know, get everything down, trying to get the limitations between production and getting all the back end stuff together and all that. That's always tricky. We've been blessed. We haven't had a hard time finding guests. This is actually the first weekend we've had a hard time finding guests, and it hasn't even been because we can't find guests. It's because I'm working MagFest. And it's really hard to try and plan around that when I know that I'm going to be working until 4 a.m. Most people aren't really down to stream at like 6 a.m. on a Saturday. Oh, thank you, Skits. I try. I do like cosplay. I think it's fun.
And that was actually from earlier in the stream that I'm trying to work my way through all this stuff.
I like it.
That question was not for you. So let's see here.
Absolutely not. Nope. Not even kind of. This mask is really, really hot. And I could maybe do like dead eyes, but I don't think it's gonna read zombie so much as like raccoon.
Right, and I think the makeup would probably tend to, excuse me, rub off with the way that mask kind of moves back and forth.
Yeah, no, it absolutely would rub off. So, unfortunately, I can't be a cyber goth punk EDM zombie with this mask, but I can just do the rest of it, I guess.
Not gonna lie, that'd be awesome.
It would be. It'd be very cool.
So really quickly, since I haven't actually put it up yet above Shae's head, I did want to let you guys know that we do have an updated channel logo that Shae and I came up with over the past 2 days.
Yes, it's awesome. Very much love it. We took our two wings from our background and basically merged them together, and so it's more us instead of that random clip art wing that I found forever ago.
Right. So this is our channel banner, the full version of it, not the cropped version that you'll see at the top of YouTube on a PC. So yes, it's basically just my wing and then her wing, and they're fit together along with that sword that was an amazing piece of clip art that Shae found that I literally had to fix like 6 different ways, including
entirely uneven.
Yeah,
We had to mirror it.
Yes, I had to chop it in half and then mirror it and then redraw part of it, and then that looked like shit. And so I did more chopping and more mirroring, and yay, it's a sword.
The
I'm
things
not
our channel logo.
Exactly. I am not an artist, folks. I do graphics, kinda. Anyway, a little bit. No. All right, so let's see here. All right, I'm gonna go over. Oh my God, I'm not reading that skit. Oh, I lost her questions. Hold on, let me go back and find your thread. Grumble, grumble.
Oh, you can grumble all you want. So. So I do like what Starred said about the downvote tweet. So the tweet, oh my gosh, come on. The tweet that you had put out about the downvotes. So it's really humorous to us for whatever reason. And I mean, it's at this point the only thing that I can possibly think of is either somebody doesn't like Sai, someone doesn't like me, or someone doesn't like both of us. And that's totally cool, but it makes me laugh that people can't even wait for a stream to have happened before they downvote us. Like, it's at that point it's super transparent. It's obviously has nothing to do with the content. It has to do with the people, and you must just not like the channel enough that you stalk the channel to then downvote it, which is hilarious because every interaction helps. So thank you.
Exactly, and the funny part is that after I sent out that tweet,
we got more downvotes.
No, we were at 1 when that happened, and like a couple of hours ago I checked, and we were at 4 downvotes.
That's cool. I don't care. So at this point, considering this is Shae's AMA, I'm going to assume it's that they don't like me, which is fine. I am not everyone's cup of tea, so no problem.
No, absolutely. So let me see here. I have almost, okay, found the thread. One more second while it loads. And let's see, from Froggy, frogs or geese?
Frogs, obviously. Frogs are better. Geese
Obvious.
are asshole.
Froggy needs to ask frogs or geese. Okay. Let's see here. So there's a Conan GIF in here, and it says, "What is best in life?" So there's a quote from Conan that I don't think that we really need to get into, but yeah, Shae, what are you enjoying? What are you enjoying about this weekend?
I mean, the music. So this kind of goes into another question that was in the chat. The music that's been at MagFest has been really, really cool, and being able to kind of see it's a different side of indie artists. So this is like indie music, as opposed to indie comics, which is what we normally cover. But being able to see just like the passion behind a lot of people that are out there and trying this stuff has been really cool. I did get to meet Edwin Wong, which was super awesome, and got a couple prints off of him, and he was a really, really nice guy. So definitely, if you don't follow him, you should. He's super cool. Yeah, just I don't know. I like being around good people, and just kind of having fun.
Well, and that kind of leads me into one of the questions I wanted to ask you, because I know that going to MagFest was important to you, to kind of get back into something that you used to do a long, long time ago. And if anyone who wasn't here for the first few minutes of the stream, basically she's working as a camera operator at MagFest for their concerts and stuff like that. So when did you get into that?
I first started doing stuff with like television production and camera work and stuff when I was in high school. I actually took a television production class, and it ended up being a pretty high level. We ran our own news show that we did every single day, and we used to. I was like, while I helped in the studio with the switchboards and the chroma key and things like that, the thing that I liked the most was actually doing all of the video editing for our silly PSAs about like the shitty food in the cafeteria, or like Sadie Hawkins is coming up and you got to pick somebody. So we did a lot of those kinds of videos, and those were really fun. I actually I had a PSA that almost got me suspended because I decided to do it on a really heavy topic when everyone else was doing like pick up your trash and whatever.
Is that something you might want to tell us about, or you guys?
Yeah, I mean, so I did a PSA to Nickelback, because I was a brooding teenager, to Nickelback's song Never Again, and it was all about domestic violence. And I actually got two people from theater to kind of act it out. It was this like really tall dude and this really, really small petite girl, and we did stage makeup, the whole 9 yards. We ended up putting a hole in his wall because he got so into the character that he swung and his fist went through the drywall. So we had to apologize and patch drywall. But no, it was a really, really fun piece. And when I finished it, I didn't expect it was going to get played because it was too serious. And my teacher was basically like, "We're going to play it. We're just not going to say anything about it. And then when the principal comes down here, like, I got your back." And I was like, "That's horrifying. I'm like a straight A student and a super goody two shoes." And the principal, sure enough, came storming down, super mad. Wanted to know who did it, pulled me into the office with the teacher, who didn't really do much to have my back. He was just kind of like, "Yeah, we did it. It happened." And then from there, the principal was like, "So you're going to play it for this week, and then I never want to see it again." And he's like, "And next time, don't surprise me with this stuff." I was like, "Yep, no problem. Sounds great." And that was the end of it. So yeah, I used to do it a lot when I was in high school, and I loved it.
That's really cool. So what? I'm sorry, but in doing stuff like that in school, at least for me, I mean, I did drama and a lot of stuff like that, and you always had that kind of student advisor, or the student, or I'm sorry, your teacher advisor, the basically the teacher that was in charge of whatever that club or what have you was. So where was he while the principal was being pissed?
So he was in. So we had an office that overlooked the production side of the studio. So he was on that side watching us running the actual news broadcast, and of course he puts me on to be the producer for our show. So I'm literally sat there, and he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna play your PSA." So I had to turn to the guy who was doing chroma, and I was like, "If I have to disappear, you're gonna have to take over, and I'm really sorry." Like, I'm potentially gonna get suspended, so we don't know. But yeah,
Wow.
he was just chilling in the other room, and then when the principal came in, he still just chilled in that same room and didn't say anything.
So he totally let you take the heat for it. That was nice.
Oh yeah, he did initially, and then he was like, "I told her to," and he goes, "I assumed as much," because it's not like she's, you know, she's a straight A student. It's like she's trying to be a problem all of a sudden out of nowhere. Did I celebrate with cake in my face for 1,000 followers? I did not. I did not. I can think of some people that would probably love to punch me in the face with some cake, but I did not want to have that happen.
We could raise money for the channel and just sell tickets.
I don't really like this idea. There'd be a lot of people showing up just to smash cake in my face. And
oh, I'm sorry. Should we say it's for charity? Will that help?
sometimes
We're
that
raising
helps.
money for charity to smash Shae in the face with cake. So Charlie's London, it's a gaming and music
Music and gaming festival, and that's what it stands for.
convention thing in Maryland.
Yep,
So
it's 72 hours straight. They've got panels, they've got vendors, they've got arcades, they've got like they do battles, paneling, massive concerts, all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's straight 72 hours, very long days, but it's a blast.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to read as I go, and there's the chat's so active. It's cool, but it's hard to keep up with and do other stuff at the same time.
If Verse Films plays the Shae on a horror set, can she survive? Probably not. I'll probably die instantly. Oh. So in all honesty, if I was in a horror set, like in a horror movie, I'm probably the one that's getting offed first, because I would have been naive or just really thought that maybe that, you know, killer needed a hug or something.
Oh, that zombie needs a hug.
Right, but if it comes down to like being a part of a film crew and like chasing down, oh hell yeah, I love that stuff. I'd have a blast doing that for sure. Let me know if you're ever around my neck of the woods and trying to do something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that you should typecast her, but really, if you have call to put a zombie in the movie,
or if you need a really like large woman to die,
really large, tall,
very tall redhead.
tall redheaded zombie. There you go. And you know she can do the makeup in like 17 different styles.
You want pop art zombie? You want pretend scary zombie that's not all that scary?
Which leads us to another question, which I think is also from Star, maybe on an alternate account. What is the fastest time for the most elaborate makeup? Wow, you're really making this a conditional question. The fastest time for the most elaborate makeup job you've done?
So the most elaborate makeup job I've done was probably the pop art zombie. I can do that one faster than what I did. That one took me like a little over 3 hours, just to try and get shading down and make sure that it was going to look good on stream. And I also was eating in the middle of it, and so I was trying to like pace myself so things could dry. But I do face painting. I've done it for a couple different events, and usually I can do something that's at least somewhat elaborate in like an hour and a half to two. But a lot of my other makeup stuff has been probably no more than an hour for the rest of our streams, Max, and specifically for the makeup stream that I did for skits, because I just had to look like I was psychotic. It was literally a matter of smudging everything that was already on my face from the stream before and then applying like more lipstick and smudging it again to really try and sell the crazy. So that probably took about 5 minutes.
Yeah, Medica was probably pretty quick, but that wasn't on this. No. Did you do her?
Medica wasn't quick though.
Did you do her again for ours, or was it just on Angie on Arch City?
I didn't do Medica for ours.
Yeah, like when we had Aaron Calamari on.
No, I didn't do Medica again. Because
right,
it wasn't for actors, it was for a different.
Yep. Gotcha. Oh, nice question from Skits.
Oh, how tall am I? Is that what it is? Hold on. Yep, yeah. I'm 6'1".
6'1" in reasonably flat shoes. Don't get her in heels.
Oh no, that's 6'1" totally barefoot. I wear heels that are anywhere between like, so I've got flat shoes, but then I got heels that are up to like 6 inches. So I've been 6'7".
Wow. That's like a foot on me.
Yeah. No, I can be very tall.
Be as tall as you choose to be.
I certainly can.
Let's see. Here's a question. Where did you get the mask?
So they've got, these masks were really popular here. They also have them like out over in some of the malls and stuff around here. So
let's see here.
They've actually got hats and shirts too that are kind of cool.
So I believe some people might have a misconception of you, some of your recent followers on Twitter, to get you to that 1,000. Because here's another question from Twitter, and it's a funny one. I prepped Shae a little bit with some of the questions, which you could, of course, see because they were replies to her thread. So, what kind of tools do you use for your art?
I am not an artist. So if we're going to art like makeup, I use Revlon. I don't know. I use whatever I have. If you're going to talk about doing hand turkeys, that would be crayons. I like crayons. So yeah, no, I'm actually not an artist. If you see any of the art that has shown up on my Twitter, it is, if it's not a direct retweet of some other artist, if it's something that's that I'm tweeting out and talking about how cool it is, it's usually going to be my husband's stuff, which is Tonks. So at @IamSETonks. He is an amazing penciler, inker. He's phenomenal with colors. His watercolors are amazing. He does really, really, really good paintings of nightmare pieces that he has, which are just, they're gorgeous, but they're horrifying. And so those are really cool to definitely check out. I highly recommend following him. If you're looking for a colorist, I definitely recommend hiring him. Or if you need an artist for your pieces, he's got a very slick art style that's very it's very clean, has a lot of character, and it's really, really well done. He conveys emotion very well, so highly recommended. And it's not just because I'm married to him.
And I believe his commissions are open from the one of the more recent tweets that I saw from him.
Yep.
So there you go.
His commissions are open, so you can get yourself a really good colorist pretty easily right now. Well, I don't know. I'd move quick though.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'd move quick. He doesn't have an infinite amount of time.
Oh God, this one makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. Do you think Edwin Boyette is the sexiest man alive?
Next question. No.
I feel like this person has been dipping into the white drugs. Then again, they have more followers than me, so
so you can't really talk.
I can talk. It's never stopped me before, but still. Wow. Okay, so yeah, that was from Comics Gatekeeper on Twitter. I'm just gonna say no, that you do not think that Edwin Boyette is the sexiest man alive.
Not at all. No.
Let's see, a question from Kai up here. Let's see.
I still remember a lot of it. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Like so for
Hold
those
on.
of you, I mean,
Hold on.
oh, hi, how are you? So I learned sign from my friend Kyle, and so my work has I forgot what the sign is, but I did take some sign language while I was at work, and I've gotten through the first level, and there's I think 5 or 6 before I can actually start going for a translator course. But I've gotten horribly out of practice since class has ended, so I need to get back into it.
I think that was pretty good for on the spot. That's not bad. Well, maybe my opinion doesn't count. Let's ask the person that knows sign.
Sorry, Kai. Oh, I tried. I have failed, Kyle. Look, it's difficult. So sign language it's easy. It's so easy to forget. It's very easy to forget if you don't use it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually learned quite a bit of German in high school, and yeah, that's it slips away.
It really is like any kind of like language or anything like that. If you really any specialized skill, if you don't use it, it's easy to forget.
Yeah, the other thing I would suggest is if your brain is anything like mine, don't partially try to learn multiple languages without really exploring one to the end before you start learning the other one, because yeah, I still kind of try to mix Spanish and German in my head a little bit, and they're not at all the same.
Kai, I can sign. I'm tired. Sorry. Gosh, it's giving me crap now.
You know, if it wouldn't get the channel struck, I'd start playing Queens Under Pressure.
It's exactly what it feels like.
Do you have a flashlight or something that you could hold up at an angle so it's like spotlight on you?
I do not know. Oh. This is all the light I got going here.
You know, I gotta apologize, folks. We did not prepare for this adequately. We'll do better with props next time.
Oh goodness. So we got any other questions?
I don't know. We stretched like 6 questions into over half an hour so far, so I think we're doing pretty well.
I think we did well.
All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Because I know Shae's got to get in there and do her camera eating personages things.
Oh yeah, ASL and BSL. So sign language is regional. There's a lot that's the same. There's a lot that's not the same because of cultural differences. So
just to be specific, isn't BSL
British Sign Language?
Yeah. Okay. Where do you see y'all's channel going in the next year? That's an interesting question. And, you know, I know that this is an AMA for Shae, and I absolutely do not want to steal her thunder, but if you guys have questions for me, absolutely, or just about the channel, because that kind of involves both of us, absolutely feel free to ask them. Yeah. I was just teasing earlier, but yeah, throw out whatever you want to throw out. I mean, this is we don't have a creator on, and we're not featuring a campaign. So this is like really
This
our
is
chance
it.
to be able to interact with you guys. So
Yeah.
I mean,
This
have
is
at.
pretty it.
So where do we see? Let me actually post it so that they can tell.
Honestly, like for me at least, this channel is just something that's really fun for us to be able to kind of get more eyes on indie creators, and specifically to be able to get them a dedicated platform where they're not necessarily competing with 2 or 3 other creators for time, so they can talk about what it is that they really want to talk about, really get into the intricacies of their campaign, and really show people why they should be backed and why people should, support them, because it's scary being an indie creator and trying to get things out there. A lot of people have a lot riding on this kind of stuff, and it can be very difficult if you don't get the exposure that you want. And so I hope that we can grow the channel enough that we can get people better exposure than what we're currently doing. I also know that we've been talking about doing like artist highlights where you may not necessarily have like a campaign or something that's active right now, but you've got really good art and you're selling prints and you're doing commissions and stuff like that, and it would be really cool to be able to talk to people about basically doing an AMA with them, like what inspired your art, like what got you into this, what are you hoping to eventually do, is this going to be a full-time, or is this only your hobby or whatever, and being able to kind of highlight people like that would be awesome. And as well as doing comic reviews, so some of the indie comics that people have been putting out there, and Cy and my take on them, and Cy's a lot more harsh than I am. I love everything that I back, and Cy is kind of a jerk, but that's why we like her and why she's on the channel. So
that's why I'm on the channel I had to create. And okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's why you're on your own channel.
Yes, I'm moving along from that one because I'm that. So there's that. There's at least from my perspective, I watched a lot of other Comicsgate and indie comic shows where they highlight campaigns and stuff like that. And Shae's absolutely right that I really wanted to be able to focus on a single campaign. Even if we have the artist and the writer on it, we're still focusing on just one project.
Yep.
I think that allows us to really drill down a bit more than what they do on those shows where it's just a dirty free for all. There's that, and some of it's also that our perspective as consumers, because I'm not an artist. Really, all I do is graphics and stuff like that. And Shae does flatting and lettering, but I mean her hand turkeys. But I mean our perspectives are different, maybe than some of these other channels that are run by artists. So we're coming at it from a different direction, more from the consumer's point of view, and just frankly. The questions that I would ask, even to kind of exclude Shae from the equation, the questions that I would ask and the feedback I would give and things like that are just not what I was hearing on other channels. So that's why I felt it was important, because there's so much white noise kind of in the Comicsgate YouTube space. There are a bunch of little channels, and they have their own niche for each of them and their own audience. But I just felt like that we could do something more and at least different enough to be unique. So where do we see ourselves? Go ahead.
I was gonna say the thing that's really interesting is because we only focus on one creator at a time, we end up getting a lot more little details and little nuances that go amiss on a lot of other channels because there's just not time to cover it. And I feel like really kind of getting into those nitty-gritty bits of these indie creators is what makes this so interesting. So if you're thinking about a book and you saw somebody on a different stream and that's what got you thinking about it, if we ended up having them on our stream, that would give you kind of almost the entire background of what they've got going. It's very rare that we have people on and they don't like very extensively cover their campaign.
Right, and that we always have question time from the audience when we have creators on. We always look for questions from the audience. And I know that especially on big streams, questions just fly right by. Even on some of the smaller ones, they get so hyper focused on, maybe the StreamYard's screen, and they don't often look over to the chats. And so that was really important for us as well. We have another question from Star, and she did correct the spelling of your name. And the next one, I'm just not putting it up.
Strawberries or nuts? I feel like that is a weird either or.
That's a false binary.
Like, I like strawberries. I like peanuts and almonds. Sometimes cashews. I don't know. That's a weird comparison. Like, that's like apples and lug nuts. Like, to me, they're very different. But yeah, no, I love strawberries. Strawberry is probably my favorite.
So yeah, I'm stealing half your thunder, Shae. The only nuts I like are peanuts. I could technically eat other ones, but I think they're really gross, like waxy and nasty and just gross. And yeah, strawberries are awesome. I grew up allergic to them, which many kids do. They'll have a strawberry allergy and then they'll grow out of it. And so now I fucking love them. Yeah. So our subscriber goal, short term, 1,000, get monetized.
Short term is 1,000.
Short term, as in as quickly as possible. I'd like to see us break 200.
Yeah, 200 would be great.
Last time I checked, we were 33 away, I think. 165, 167, somewhere in there. So yeah. So medium goal 1,000, and then who knows?
Absolutely.
Let's see.
I think when it comes to the subscriber goals, it's really just kind of whatever we can get, whoever's going to be interested. I don't want people to feel like they have to subscribe to us, but I want people to want to, and I want people to be able to have that voice to kind of help with shaping like where Red Valkyrie goes and how we kind of do things and stuff like that. That's why we do this. It's fun for us, but we do it because we want to be relevant. We want to help make it a better show and better product for other people.
Right, and we do want to stand out. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
We're always looking for like with Shae's cosplay, and I was going to actually bring that up. I know that you already discussed, your makeup jobs and stuff like that, but one of the other kind of reasons that you got into this was doing the cosplays.
Yeah.
Is that anything you'd like to share?
So I initially started doing the cosplays just because it was the first one I ever did was Medica when I was part of the Extractors team. And that actually came at the request of Aaron Calamari and Vic King. They were saying it would be so super awesome to have you like kind of dress up as Medica and go on the stream with us. And I was like, it sounds like fun. Why not? Most of the stuff, like I have a pretty unique wardrobe. So a lot of the stuff that people are drawing, I can find something kind of close to it, and try to bring their characters to life. And after doing it a couple of times for a few different people and having I don't tell the creators ahead of time. So I never tell them like what I'm going to try and cosplay or if I'm going to try and cosplay, which the answer is always going to be, yeah, I'm going to try. I just might not succeed very well, depending on like Shinobi Sasquatch. That was a rough one.
No, not at all. Become a werewolf.
Become like a giant Sasquatch werewolf ninja that is gigantically blue with bulging muscles. Like I'm not great at that, but it's hearing the creators and how excited they get to see somebody like put care into what they've put so much time and effort into. It's really, really fun for me, and it's something that I definitely want to keep doing. And every time we get people on, it gets a little bit more elaborate, a little bit more creative, and it's a way for me to express, like I'm a crafty person. I'm not an artist. I can't draw very well at all, but I love to do crafts. I love to do cosplay. I love that kind of stuff. And so it's a way for me to kind of play into this creator space thing.
We're not going to bring up the hand turkeys again. And I unfortunately do not have your Starblades art to bring up. I actually removed that as an overlay from the stream. So
that's probably for the best.
So let's see. We have a question from Star, and okay, why not? And I hesitated for certain words in this.
Yeah. Will Shae show how fast that she types? You used to have a GIF. I don't know if you still do. Essentially, that it's Ghost in the Shell.
It is Ghost in the Shell with like hyper articulated robotic hands. So that's not quite me. I'll honestly say. If I'm into my groove and I'm familiar with the keyboard, which I mean the one I'm using now, the USB keyboard I'm using now, which is plugged into my Chromebook, is one that I've used for years, but it's cheap. So I can probably eke out about 80 words a minute on this. If it's a better keyboard that I'm familiar with, like a Logitech one that I literally used for, I don't know, about 8 years, I can top 100 words per minute with accuracy. That's 100 corrected words a minute.
That's crazy.
That's what they do on typing tests. Let's see here. Anything else? So this isn't really a question so much as a comment, but
oh, hey Charlie. No, we I definitely agree. Like so, for those of you who maybe don't want to read, it says I think this is massively important. I'm not a creator yet, and going on streams and just talking about future stuff, hopes, and ideas with other people is so powerful and supportive. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to try and help everybody find their voice and get their message out there and talk about the things that matter to them as far as creating comics goes.
Just saying hi to someone who just showed up, and I think we're going to wrap this up here. As far as this gets, yes, in the future I will. I'm obviously, since I'm transgender, going through medical things, so I would really like to be able to settle into a better place before I ever show parts of myself, no matter what that is, on streams. But yes, it is one of my goals. Thank you for coming, Lola. Better late than never.
Happy that you were able to be here. You guys are awesome.
All right. And I want to thank everyone for showing up, everyone who asked questions, both here and on Twitter. Yeah, and look forward to the next Red Valkyrie episode. We are still trying to finalize some other guests for this weekend, but we will absolutely tweet that out as soon as we have confirmations and have people locked in.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. And thank you everyone who has followed me. I really appreciate it. This was fun. I'm glad that we got to do kind of a low-key AMA. Sorry, it was in my car. But it's been a blast. And, we love you guys. Your support is super amazing. And I guess we'll catch you next time.
Yep. And everyone, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And have a great rest of your weekend.
Absolutely. Bye everybody.